I didn't believe in ghosts. I know everyone says that at the beginning of stories like this, but it matters. I wasn't the kind of person who jumped at shadows or blamed drafts for feelings. I liked explanations. I liked things to make sense. Old houses made noise, wood expanded, memory failed people more often than they like to admit. So when the cabinet was open, I didn't panic. I noticed it the way you notice a typo in a book, mildly irritated, certain you'd missed something obvious. I stood in the kitchen with my coffee cooling in my hands, staring at the cabinet above the sink, the one with the chipped handle. I always closed that one because it sagged if you didn't push it all the way in. Muscle memory, habit, yet there it was, open just enough to show the shadow between plates. I closed it, harder than necessary. That should have been the end of it. Over the next few days, small things drifted out of place. Not enough to be alarming, enough to be annoying. A chair pulled out slightly when I was sure I'd pushed it in. The bathroom door not quite shut, a light on in the hallway when I could have sworn I turned it off. I chalked it up to stress, bad sleep, the way your brain fills in gaps when routines blur. Still, I started double-checking things. That was the first real change, not fear, but attention. The house was quiet, warm, familiar in the way only a long-lived place can be. Floors creaked where they always had. The air smelled faintly of dust and old wood and whatever cleaner I used too sparingly. Nothing felt wrong. Which is why, the first night I heard something upstairs, I didn't sit up in bed. I was half asleep when the sound came. A soft scrape, followed by a pause. Not a thud, not a crash. Something lighter. Something cautious. I lay there, staring into the dark, waiting for the second sound that would explain the first. It didn't come. Eventually I rolled over and told myself it was the house settling. Old places did that at night. They adjusted to temperature, gravity, time. Still, I listened longer than usual before sleep took me. The next morning, the upstairs bathroom cabinet was open. I stared at it longer than I should have. I remembered closing it. I knew I had, but certainty is fragile. Memory bends easily when challenged by something as simple as an open door. I closed it again. I didn't mention it to anyone. There was nothing to mention. Days passed, then a week. The house remained gentle, predictable, almost apologetic. Then one evening, I came home late and found every chair in the dining area turned toward the hallway. Not lined up, not neat, just angled, like they'd been nudged, like someone had been standing there looking down the hall and left in a hurry. I stood in the doorway with my key still in my hand, heart thudding in a way I didn't like. I laughed, actually laughed, because the alternative was standing there frozen, letting something unnamed bloom in my chest. Okay, I said out loud to an empty house. Very funny. The sound of my voice filled the space too easily. I moved the chairs back, one by one, trying not to think about how quiet the house felt while I did it, how it seemed to listen. That night, I dreamed I was walking through the house while someone followed just out of sight. I could hear breathing behind me, slow and patient. Every time I turned, nothing was there. When I woke up, the bedroom door was open. I never slept with it open. I lay there for a long time, staring at the dark hallway beyond it, listening to the house breathe around me. That was the moment I stopped telling myself it was nothing. Not because I was scared yet, but because the house felt aware. And deep down, somewhere I didn't want to look too closely, I had the creeping sense that whatever was changing inside it was being careful.